Hey friends, welcome back to my garden. Today is Saturday, August 2nd, and I thought I would take a few minutes to share with you the state of where we are at as of today. A lot has changed since the last video. As you can see, it has been a very dry couple of weeks. The grass around the garden is pretty brown, but that is not slowing the garden down at all. As you will see, there is lots growing and big production. While some things may look a little wilty, I assure you that all is well. This is just nature's way of taking care and protecting itself in the heat. But the plants are loving it and they are growing so fast, so quickly, that I've actually been harvesting things in between these videos. So I thought I would take some time today to show you some things up close. As you can see, we have really had a growth spurt happen on the butternut squash. The last video, it was very hard for me to even point out the plants to you, and now in this video, they are quite large. There's always lots to do in this size of garden, always cleaning up, always picking up, always weeding, but we do get to take some time and enjoy the beauty. Here we have our scarlet runner beans that are really taking off. They are going to grow up and over the trellis. They put on these beautiful orange flowers that will turn into a pinto bean like green bean. Over here are the cantaloupe that we have been working so hard on growing. And as you can see, we already have some fruit down here. Some of them are heavy and are on the bottom. But if you come down here, you will see that I was able to use my first melon hammock to hold up this cantaloupe. Lots of flowers, lots of little tiny cantaloupes growing. My hope had been that I would get at least 5 cantaloupe because I had about 5 plants, but I think we're going to be getting significantly more. This is how they climb up the trellis with their little tendrils. These are the potatoes. They look awful. They're supposed to look awful because they are starting to die back. My mom and I did a little test patch to see how they are, and we're going to give them another day or two. I'm still fascinated by these cantaloupes. Look, we have another baby. Over here, we are heading towards our zucchini plants. Our zucchini are probably the first plants that are going to get hit with disease first. Squash bugs here in Michigan wreak havoc on our zucchini plants, which is why we always make sure we are succession sowing if we want more. But as you can see, there is still plenty of vegetables and fruit being put on. We actually harvested from these plants this morning, so we were able to get quite a few zucchini. But if you follow me down here, I'm going to show you where we have our second succession and our little zucchini plants. I think we have about 5 already started, and they will be growing up and producing fruit in no time. We have our beans that are continuing to grow and dry. We have weeds continuing to grow. But these gorgeous zinnia are just such a nice pop of color here in the garden. The neighbors are always commenting on how pretty the garden looks. Here we have Brussels sprouts. If you did not know how Brussels sprouts are grown, this is how they grow. Down here are our drying beans. In previous videos, I've told you that they will start to dry on the vine. And as you can see, they are doing just that. And these will be a shelf-stable product. We have our green peppers. And did you know that all peppers, no matter what their color are, always start out green? They do. We have another area where I have a second succession of cucumbers growing. These are an English style cucumber, so they're not pokey. I have pickled them. They have been delicious. We've also just been enjoying them fresh with a little salt, little pepper. So good. These you are having to check every day because they grow so fast. Same with our tomatoes. The tomatoes have just popped. They are thick. They are full of little buds, little tomatoes, and they are all going to be starting to turn color. You can see some of them just starting to put on a blush color. I have a few different varieties in here, both of slicing tomatoes and cherry tomatoes. These are going to be so good for fresh eating, making salsas, whether it's canned or fresh, pico de gallo. And then these plants down here, I've shared with you before, these are my paste tomatoes. And these are going to be more for your sauces and things where you don't want a lot of juice. But I have to show you something fun. We were all worried about these little watermelon plants. They were so puny when I planted them. And look, y'all, we have a watermelon. We did it. It still has some time to grow, but it's going to be amazing. And there is nothing better than homegrown watermelon. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of things that are better than homegrown watermelon, but homegrown watermelon is pretty gosh darn good. So the harvest season is definitely ramping up. As you can see from the state of those tomato plants, there are going to be a lot of tomatoes starting to come on. Green peppers and red peppers, they're going to start producing here soon. Lots of fruit already on the plants, lots of weeding. There's always a lot of cleanup to do. But this is the time where you just get to look at all of your hard work of babying these little plants and then getting them in the ground and watching them grow. And I have thoroughly enjoyed being able to take you along for this little journey. I appreciate each one of you that watches this video or these videos and who asks questions. It has been a joy sharing this season's garden with all of you. I can't wait for this tunnel to be completely covered with beans and cucumbers and cantaloupe. So thank you everyone for stopping by. I hope you all enjoyed a little peek into my garden, and I can't wait to see you all here back next time. Bye-bye.